Tiger hood on.
Oh, you got the same vibe.
Y'all got
You don't have to be seen though. Oh, right.
Oh, why you messing with her?
Oh, don't worry about it, cause
Oh.
I got hair. Go
man.
there.
I
She
know.
ain't bald
We about to
head.
go
Oh,
viral.
wait.
We
Joe's
going
like, but I
viral.
don't.
I don't, but she ain't
go-
bald head.
Welcome. Thank you everyone for listening to Be a Voice. I am Tamika Vukovic, co-executive director of Wisconsin Voices, and we have
Joe Dre, policy director.
Latoya White. I'm gonna tell y'all my last name since Brian told y'all already. Director of Organizing and Partnership.
you got to keep it up. Let's see. Let's find a
She ain't
different
forget
last
Oh,
name
yeah.
for you.
Smith. Latoya Smith.
Schmidt?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
that's
the Smith.
No,
that was
Smith.
last week.
So Smith is Schmidt.
It was
is
Reckenbacher
Schmidt.
last week.
It was Smith before the war, and it was Smith after the war.
Oh.
Yeah.
And last but not least,
Brian Sanders, lead organizer for Wisconsin Voices. Good morning, Milwaukee.
I missed y'all Friday. I'm gonna
Yeah.
miss y'all tomorrow and Friday. I am out of here. I am on work
Duty. Special
duty, special duty. But
Special
this I can
assignment.
tell y'all, this ain't no secret assignment. I'm going to Miami for a training.
Miami.
Yeah.
Miami?
Welcome to
How
Miami.
wonderful is that?
I feel kind of two different ways on this. I know I need to do what I have to do about getting the training, but I also hate the fact that I'm getting ready to bring money to the economy who has hurt so many Black and brown people and marginalized people with their laws. So it's a catch-22.
Got you.
But today's show, we're gonna let me start off with giving you the number 414-444-5250. You can follow us on our Facebook page. We always talk about our three pillars, which is protect democracy, build community, teaching advocacy. And we've had people who are running for office, protecting democracy, parts of it. And then we've talked about our Civics 101 class that you can sign up for if you go to wisconsinvoices.org. And we talk about community, but we bring our partners in. But today's topic is really what's happening in our community. I want to talk about, so let me tell you a story. I went to the other day when we were having our gala, our gala was the bomb. Anyway, and I went to get a dress. Now, if anybody knows, there's certain things that Tamika hates doing. Number one, I hate dressing up. Number two, I hate getting my hair done. Number three, I'll put a hat on, stuff like that. Real not ladylike per se. But I had to go get a dress, and I went to Burlington Coat Factory. That's the new one. It's been open for about a month or two on the east side of Capitol. And I grabbed all these clothes and I said, okay, I'm going to put it all in there and then I'm going to try these on and I'm going to figure out what I'm going to wear. And I couldn't try them on because the fitting room was closed. And I was like, what do you mean the fitting room was closed? And they were like, we don't let anybody in the fitting room. I was like, well, how am I supposed to try these on? Well, you're going to have to buy all the items, take them home, try them out. As long as you have a receipt, you can return it. So I ended up having to buy, and I'm glad I actually had the money because sometimes you don't have the money you have money for just the dress or just whatever. So I ended up having to buy, I think it was like $200 worth of clothes, take them home, try them all out, found out none of it worked, and I kept a couple things, and then brought it back, but I got a return of $190 or $170 something dollars. So most of it was returned, but that was a back and forth. And why? Why is this? Because there's so much theft that they don't even want us in our communities to try clothes on because they might steal, which made me upset. So I let that go because I was like, oh, this is just one store. But then I went to a gas station and I wanted to buy a purchase that would have cost $100 and something. And I tried to put it on my credit card because I don't carry cash. and they said, oh, you have to have a debit card or cash for this purchase. And I was like, why? You know, it's a credit card, because credit cards, and especially with credit cards, if anything happens, it gets stolen, you can stop the purchase. But that's what they've been doing, is they buy big items or raise the items, use the credit card, and then call the credit card company and claim it's fraudulent. So now they won't even allow you to purchase anything over 40 or 50 bucks in a credit card unless it's gas. This is what the stealing, the theft, the things that are in our communities are doing to our community. And I understand times are hard and people are just struggling out there, but we end up hurting ourselves in the process. That's the conversation we want to have today. What can we do? How can we help? How can we solve this? Because you go to Burlington in another area, oh, you got fitting rooms and all kinds of stuff, and they're very, go, where's the other Burlington? Over at it's in West Dallas, I think. Yeah, you can go in West Dallas and you can go to the fitting room. Why can't I go someplace in my community and be able to get all the services someone else does? 414-444-5250. Let's talk about what you think. What you think, Keon? Why you giving me that side eye?
I'm not really giving any. I think
that it's not a side eye. It was a eyebrow raise.
I think. Well, I just think of the stories, where the old granny is shoplifting and they go get the young black girl and search her while the old granny sneaks out the door.
Right.
It happens somewhere everywhere. We just don't get reported. It won't get reported because they don't want you to think that their neighborhood has that. Right along with the. I'm a traveler. So I go to these communities and I hear sirens and see some of the craziest stuff that never makes the news.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was on my way to Madison and I saw the motorcycle brawl on the freeway on I-94 East, west going into Madison. Yes, it was a brawl. It was a traffic situation. And then it was already a traffic situation. And then there was the area of the motorcycle when there was like 50 people brawling and fighting and pushing. I got to Milwaukee and never saw it on the news. So I think about stuff like that. It does happen in our community,
and it's
so unfortunate because we are that what do we call a disadvantaged community, a redlined community, where some of these items are some of these reasons, not excuses, reasons are systemically set up for us to just be commodity or whatever that is. But when it happens in well-to-do neighborhoods, we never hear about it in communities. That's what I'm thinking about.
And I'm an alderwoman in Glendale, and one of the things that really ticked me off is that there's a lot of theft in Bayshore.
Mm-hmm.
But Bayshore does not call the police. They don't call the police. They let people run out. That's why the Victoria's Secret, what is that?
You told me that. No.
But that is why they look at it as they have a certain amount of loss they can do, loss prevention. See, this is why, wait, let me stop my thought right there. This is why we have issues like that, because of that same mindset of, I can get in on it, or let me do what I can do, and what can I get, when it hurts the whole community.
That's true.
Like if you go and you steal, you might steal 20 panties and bras out of Victoria's Secret, but when the shop's not there anymore because they're a loss, then what?
The whole community hurts.
The whole community hurt. Look how many Walgreens are closing all around, and it's mostly because they can't deal with the theft that is happening.
I think Walmart knocked their bully butts out the box too, though, because they've always been a bully. I mean, my meds at Walmart seem to be $40 and $60. I mean, at Walgreens seem to be $40 and $60 more when I go there than when I go to Walmart. So I mean,
but even if we talk about Walmart, why is it that when I went to go get a pack of T-shirts and some underwear,
it was locked up?
They were all locked up.
Yeah.
So I had to wait.
Or they're closing at 9:30 now in the areas where we frequent, and that's from and that's pretty much from the south side, the County Line Road.
Yeah.
Yeah, even in
I gotta go to
Brown
West Bend to get 11 p.m. service.
And we act a lot better in West Bend than we do in our own community.
Oh, it's a long way home.
And sometimes some of those moves that happen
You
with
gotta get home.
with some of these theft, and I know for sure for two spots because I can speak on personal people I know that worked at Midtown and people that worked at in a situation that happened at the Germantown Walmart. It was inside, I think with Midtown Walmart, from what I heard, one number that was astronomical was over $1.5 million worth of items had been stolen. And I know people was telling me that they was coming up there and getting plugs, pull up and get us flat screen TV and that heyday of theft at the Midtown Walmart. And I know somebody personally who had an inside situation where they had a theft ring with some people from one of my participants do when I worked for that food share program, and she got in trouble. It caught up to her because somebody told on her. She had a book this thick of
people can't see
evidence.
that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. It was about an encyclopedia thick of evidence of the theft of everything was stolen. The way they got caught was they had what they was doing. They had a security guard in the inside changing the camera around. So sometimes it's inside, and they do these long investigations. So that was between Germantown and Milwaukee. And one more thing, just before I let go, just like you was talking about how it happens and you see it and they kind of shut it down. They'll talk about it for a little bit, like that big theft case that happened out at Coles out in Brookfield, and some other cases where you see white ladies getting caught up, and it was a few that was going back to back. They'll kind of throw it up there real quick, but the same, of course, energy. It's not,
because it happens the same there, the same amount of money, all that they walk in there every day. And my sentiments is with you on that granny, that little old Caucasian granny. Got that bag and putting all kind of stuff in there, but you following that sister or that brother around that probably is just out there really trying to get a little dress for their daughter for their recital or so. Yeah. So it's in all, to me, it's both ways. It's just highlighted more in our community, and it's the way we do things in our community. Like when Tamika said they don't call the police. So you got people that's brazen in our community that literally gonna put it in their shirt. You can see it and walk out the door because you can't touch it. So
and I feel bottom line, whatever community is in. I mean, I don't think it's so much as to not give an excuse, for anybody, because I'm one of those people that let's talk about the whole story. But in either situation, I do believe it's not so much greed as it is a need.
And I believe that too. Yeah. That is not.
I mean, you don't need the big 62-inch flash.
No, but what I'm saying, and I actually get that. I do get that, because we have such limited resources right in our communities in itself. Like there are so many food desert areas, and though I get that, but I'm not, this is not judging anybody, and I'm not on this soapbox to judge anybody, because you got to do what you got to do to put food on your table, or you think whatever you have to do. It's just that we need to start having pride in our community, and I think that is how we build community. We have so many other things that are against us. I heard you and Michelle on the show this morning talking about the Whitefish Bay man. Oh, yeah. For people who don't know, or who did not listen to Michelle Bryant's show this morning, there was a Whitefish Bay man who, while there was a call to 911, the dispatcher heard, I'm gonna kill you, and put the gun down in this call. So the Whitefish Bay police go there to investigate what happens. Basically, the man comes out talking mess. I almost cuss. He talking mess, telling them to F off, and all that, pointing a gun, doing a pew pew sound, and then they're consistently telling him to stand down, give up your weapon. He goes back in the house. The lady comes running out, and then he proceeds to be able to grab the Whitefish Bay female officer by the ponytail and whoop her tail for a little bit and still went to jail and got bond. I don't know if he's out on bond.
I think the point was without a shot being fired.
I wasn't getting there. I wasn't getting there. I was getting there.
I want to get through all that.
I had to get, but you have to understand that whole scenario. The whole scenario has to be given out before you say without a shot fired.
A black man would have been dead
when he hit the porch. They
all
would have yelled together 3 times. Put the gun up, put the gun up, put the gun up, put the gun up.
He wouldn't have been
as soon as he was. And so we were talking about, so some of this stuff is our community. It's talking about how even in the stores that we have, our race is a weapon, our color of skin is a weapon. They automatically look at us that we're more prone to steal. So we gonna have to watch out, even though they're stealing all over the place, as Keon said, everywhere, and it's just they just look different.
Every disenfranchised, and the
every franchise, exactly. But our skin is weaponized. 414-444-5250. What are your thoughts?
That's why the pantry that that we do with the Village Group, it means so much to me in my heart. And the woman that started it, Miss Diane Strader.
What's her name again?
Diane Strader.
Okay.
She passed away in December. It meant so much to her, to give that little bit of leeway, even gathering and fellowshipping, as rough as it can be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you guys, volunteer out there and assist as partners with it. As rough as it can be sometimes out there in that line and in that group, that even that fellowship, that's like a fellowship, because you're giving, you're feeding. It helps to calm the blows of what happens in everyday life for a lot of those people. And I hadn't even realized how many, it really did go from, a lot of just cats on the streets to mothers, elder women. That's the least we can do. Even find out, and I give my props to Just One More Ministry and thank them allowing the Village Group to be a partner over in Glendale for saving food and other items to fight hunger and other things, to even understand now that we can get female hygiene products. And what else do you need? Things that I as a man don't think about that helps everyday life. You
guys had
we talk about the hundreds of dollars that women have to spend just to be women.
Right.
And to be healthy women. It's the majority of men don't think about that. It's hundreds of dollars where, if you can help supply those things to a community or a village or a neighborhood, that's less stolen from
smell better.
But you funny. But that's less stolen from a Walmart or a Walgreens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's already taken care of. The little things like that mean so much that we don't really think make that much of a difference.
It does, because there are people who, and I was talking to when I worked for Senator Taylor for a little bit. I used to get emails or letters from female prisoners who had to spend a lot of money just to get feminine hygiene products and the ones that they needed, because everything is different depending on what the woman is. Does she need pads? Does she need tampons? Are they the regular ones? Does she need the super ones? So all those things happen, but normally they just give these one little things and they call it a day, and it's supposed to be one fits all.
It's not true.
Well, before and as we go to break, it's amazing, because as I'm thinking about this, Just One More Ministry's mission is to save food to fight hunger. And as much food as we get to give out, you got to think about inflation. How much food that stays in the grocery stores because people can't afford it, but then comes to the pantry so that people give, and we end up giving it away thanks to the mission of this one group. That's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? You can't afford it in the store, but you can stand in line and get it afterwards when it's almost old. Think about just what's being thrown away out here in the world.
It's give us a call, 414-444-5250, or go to wisconsinvoices.org. We'll be back.
Brian Stevenson, born November 14, 1959 in Milton, Delaware, is a leading American lawyer and social justice activist. He founded the Equal Justice Initiative in 1989 to address systemic racism in the criminal justice system, particularly in defending marginalized individuals, including those on death row. Stevenson's work with EGI has led to the overturning of wrongful convictions and relief for countless unjustly sentenced individuals. He's received numerous awards, including the MacArthur Fellowship in 1995 and authored the best-selling memoir, Just Mercy. Stevenson's steadfast advocacy for racial equality and social justice makes him an influential figure during Black History Month and beyond.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
Wisconsin Voices' 3 pillars: protecting democracy, teaching advocacy, building community.
You are now listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio.
You're listening to WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
We are back with Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. I'm stuffy. Can you tell?
Tamika, I just wanted to piggyback off you real quick, and we gotta get that stuffy inside before you get that playing. The
Okay,
little
yeah.
Theraflu and your little sign.
I got
signage.
some airborne.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah. Some of that stuff that you can shoot up the nose to kind of clear it out too. I know you talking about the guy in Whitefish Bay, and I just wanted to kind of break it down for the people real quick, just to think about it. His charges, they are multiple, including the potentially pointing a firearm at a law enforcement officer, battery to a law enforcement officer, endangering safety by use of a dangerous weapon, resisting an officer, domestic abuse, and recklessly subjecting an individual at risk to abuse. So I'm seeing the most minor one on here, which will be around that resisting an officer, probably out of all of these, besides the individual risk to abuse. Those right there would have got him gunned down if he was a 72-year-old Black male named Tom, Hartman from Milwaukee. I was trying to come up with a Black last name with the H, but I just stayed with Hartman because Hartman is kind of universal. Jackson, right? Thomas Jackson, 72 of Milwaukee, would have been leaking, and we would have had a whole public outcry. Yeah. So I just want to kind of just piggyback off of that when you was talking about that. I just was looking at all these charges, and I'm just looking at we've seen countless Black men in our city and across the country just for resisting on the lightest level because they were nervous or scared and end up dead and pinned down and forced to the ground. So yeah.
But that brings
piggyback off that. You got a 12-year-old child that's dead by officers for having a play gun.
Oh, you talking about in Ohio, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A play gun. He's dead. At a park, by the way.
What's scary about that? We used to have little cap guns. We used to be at parks as kids all the time playing with cap guns. All my 90s babies shooting. Look, you already know all this 90s, and cap guns was the thing. I used to take them and mark them black. All that. Thinking about all that now, I guess that's why that one bothered me a lot, is because we used to be at parks playing all throughout Milwaukee with cap guns and painting our water guns black sometimes, doing stuff like that. Just the obsession of being a boy with a gun.
But
us as a Black community got to start thinking to protect ourselves.
And that's where it is. There's so much institutional racism, and it's ingrained into these systems, but we have to start kind of looking out for ourselves, protecting ourselves. Those people who call themselves allies have to start stepping up to help protect us. We can do it, but we also need the allies to help us. Because until the institutional, until our skin, and I keep saying this, stops being weaponized, or that is the key. No matter what it is, if you always look, you go in a store, your skin. If you're light skinned, you may not get as followed as fast as if you're a darker complected person. So it is about your skin color. It is about your race. Just driving down the street, a hoopty with a white person is not going to get stopped. Hoopty black person may get stopped.
Unless they ride through some of our heavy drug areas, they might get stopped if they looking like they about to pick up a pack.
No, they're not gonna get stopped. They're not getting stopped. They're not getting stopped unless they see them doing something. No one is getting stopped. Yeah. And that is so that's why when Wisconsin Voices actually says, protect democracy, build community, teach and advocacy, it really goes into how do we as a community organization help with whatever it is. So we do a lot work with Keon, with the pantry that happens on Wednesdays. We're the one that, we sponsor some of the stuff he needs just to maintain that every Wednesday. Mm-hmm. But it's what we try to do to help our community. We know people are hungry. We know they're struggling. So I just wish we could do more to help, because at the end of the day, the prices are higher in the inner city, and it's because they make up these reasons, because we lose so much money, or we do this or we do that. It's a trying time.
Hey, I got an example.
Hold on, caller, call back. I'm sorry, I saw it and I was gonna answer. Call back 414-444-5250.
Think about when you're in the inner city and you use your debit card and they charge you 50 cents if it's under $5.
Right.
But I have a loving friend on the south side that I hang out with sometimes. And yeah. And when I'm over there and I can buy something for $3 and they don't charge me anything.
Right.
But over here, they tell you the reason they charge you 50 cents is because it costs them to do the transaction. And if it's under $5, it's going to cost them 50 cents to do it. So why doesn't it cost 50 cents on the south side?
It does. Let's see what the caller has to say. Caller, go ahead.
Listen, I'm listening to what you're saying. You talked about allies. Where are the allies that you're talking about?
What I said about allies?
Yeah, what allies are you referring to?
I'm talking about in general, the people who there are people who want to help, but they say they want to help the community, but they're not there addressing some of the issues that are directly related to our community or the areas around us.
Yeah, but who are you saying? What allies? Are you talking white allies, black allies? What allies are you talking about?
It's whatever allies are consider themselves allies. So I'm not.
I want to tell you this. Many might come in the form of a friend, but the black man has been standing alone, sister. And this is all the time. This is why we messed up now with integration. Integration, because we don't have any black doctors, black communities really where we actually thrive for ourselves, like these other people that come into this country and create right away establish right away their communities. And one reason is that our people, the old era, remember Africans were sold into slavery to Africans, sometimes by Africans. But check this out. The old Arab is still up to his old tricks. He come here about 45 years ago. About almost 50, about 45 years ago, really good in our communities. And we can give thanks to Islam, the Nation of Islam, for that. They come here and they have bought into most black communities with your elected officials. Go and look at your elected officials where they receive their money from. These people receive money from these people, and they're almost guaranteed not to have another store next to them or down the block. The first thing your alderman is going to say is saturated. Now, the reason why, because they've received money from that old Arab. They've sold us into slavery for a little bit of nothing. So when you say allies, darling, I'm trying to figure out, because even in the army, the Negro had a Negro army. He didn't have nobody in his army to help him. No Chinese couldn't fight in his army. No Indians didn't fight in his army. No whites or Mexicans fought in his army. They fought in the white folk army. That's why when I was coming up, you was white, you was in Mexico, we call you white Mexican, white Chinese, because we all automatically knew who we are. We stand alone with it. But it's good to have some help along the way. But when you rely on allies like this is a UN or NATO group, it's not happening. So I was waiting on you to tell me.
So wait a minute. So let me be clear. I did not say that they were supposed to run this. I said they are here to help. Help support, or like you said, help. But they are people who may or may not want to help us or assist. But we have to do it on our own. This is something that our community has to do. So, I'm a woman that's 52. I've lived here for all my life, pretty much, except for maybe 3 or 4 years out of my life. I grew up right off of 21st and Atkinson, so I understand where the stores went, what happened to the stores, and all that stuff. And I'm just saying,
what happened to them? Could you tell me what happened to the stores?
They were bought out. I was here.
They were bought out, but then hold on. Other people came to open up stores too. You got little boys right now that got a little bag in their pocket, and they would love to trade that bag into a business. Okay, but guess what? When they go downtown to try and get established with because the little money that they making off their little sacks and stuff, they could make that right there in a corner store. But what happens is that when they go down, the regulations and the older person in there that's already beholden to the business up the street is going to tell them that we're saturated, but you can still fill it out and we'll let the neighbors decide.
So where is that happening at? Because I know I've helped several people get established stores where the older people want to get folks from our community back to buying stores in our community, but it's just
okay. Could you give me those stores, please?
Well, it's one I know for sure the last one I spoke of should be opening soon over off of 31st, and I just told you. I'm telling you. No. Over 31st and Atkinson over there by the old E.R. Wagner, and the man just had bought the same guy. He just sold the laundromat that he had bought over here on Atkinson, so that him and his wife, who own a business in another city from Atkinson, from the neighborhood I went to John Marshall to, ran the deck on the east side of the bridge off Keith with him and all that. That's where their head is, and that's what they want to do. So, made contacts with anybody. It's not what you know all the time. Sometimes it's who you know, and we got them connected, but everybody don't want to do that. And I'm still trying to find folks to buy stores and open up businesses in the area. So I don't know so much if we're being blocked or if that's not what they want to do. Just like Mr. Johns, when I grew up on 11th Street in my village, black folks owned a store. Them old men sitting in front of the store early in the morning, they wasn't drunk. They was a store owner, the business owner. The brother from Perkins was sitting over there. So
where are they at?
Mr. Wright and them that's my point. Mr. Wright and them were electricians. They own businesses. You know what? Their children didn't want to do that. Their children got other jobs. Their grandchildren didn't want to run the grocery stores. So they sold the businesses.
So
there's other people that are looking to open up business,
and that's the thing. They have to work the system. They have to be able to talk to the older people, show them the value of them going in. It's not a clear.
Hold on, the Arab don't got to show them the value of going in.
Sir, we're not yelling, screaming here. We're
just
having.
Sorry, I apologize.
We're having
a conversation. About that.
I know, because me, Winky, you can open 11 stores in the city. Where your stores?
Where your store?
Because I know you can open so many of them. So many folks listen and believe in you, and you put so much down in other areas. Where your stores?
So the brother asked me where the brother or the sister asked me where my store is.
We don't want the liquor store though.
Hold on. Hold on. No, it ain't enough. What you mean it's enough of them?
hold on. We're not. This is a conversation. We're supposed to be having a rational conversation on how to help. How to
Baby,
heal.
we finna liven up your show. We finna
Excuse-
get some action. You gonna be
Number
all
one,
right.
wait. I really want to.
You want some
This is
light?
the second time you've done this, so I really want to clarify this. My name is Tamika. I am not a baby. I'm not a honey. I am a grown woman who runs an organization that wants to talk about real issues. Please don't demean me by calling me baby or honey anymore. This is the second time. I respect you as a person, but
because I didn't mean anything by calling
I know,
you that.
but I'm just correcting it. That's all. And I won't hold it. I mean, I don't have any ill will, or it's not personal. I just wanted to correct it.
Okay, what about if I call you ma'am? Is ma'am okay?
That's fine. That's fine.
I just wanted to ask my
Ma'am
brother
is
again,
okay, but
because this brother right here,
sweetie or something like that is bad.
Well, I'm a married woman, so I don't think my husband would
well,
actually like me.
I'm sure your husband know that there's nothing.
But
between
this is
us
this
but a
is
clown
going
on the
off
radio.
the conversation, so we're gonna go to the next caller. I don't know.
We ain't calling you shorty.
I don't know who it is.
But with a side of that, what I was trying to get to with the brother, and we're aggressive, is that
It's just too much. Yeah.
I don't feel there's hope and possibility, and I know in my area I'm trying to get a lot of those brothers to open stores, and I know the gentleman that's calling, the brother that's calling is able-bodied and capable,
right?
And
I don't know who these people are.
You hit it on the head when you said that to him.
So he has valid points. Sometimes the language may be different in folks, but his points are valid sometimes. But my point was not to back and forth. Was just that you're right, but at the same time, I don't think a lot of people are into that now. And what he was going to was, I know he tried to open a store, and it's a store that a lot of citizens don't want that hustle in their neighborhood no more. They don't want 30 more liquor stores. They already got enough. They got enough drunk folks in their family, so why not open some other type of stores? And I think that's more the issue sometimes, what we want to hustle on, what we want to saturate the neighborhoods for.
And that is the key point.
Where's the grocery stores? Who wants to open a grocery store?
Right, but who wants some people like wait a minute, hold
beneficial.
On. But there is a lot of like restaurants that are opening up, and there's a lot of soul food restaurants. But then, have you ever noticed they close at 6:00, or they're not open on the weekends? And then they want to know why the business never takes off, because when I get off work at 5:00, I want to go eat at 6, 7, 8:00 sometime at night. Those are the businesses that I want to see in my areas, but we're too scared to keep them open. Let's get this next caller.
Well, that's honest, because they'll get robbed.
Let's get this next caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Y'all just really got it good. But you know what? I don't know what to say about that last brother.
That last brother is cool. Hey, that last brother is cool.
But anyway,
it's all good.
I'm not gonna go there. But at the same time, what you were speaking of earlier re-enhanced me, because you was really speaking the truth. Because I be into these politics so much, and I done got to listen to y'all so much, I done lost my frame of thought.
I'm sorry.
No, that's right.
But we're just the whole point of this is not to down our people, not to. I'm just saying in general, it's not to criticize. It's just like, what can we do to make our situation better? We have to do it.
Make things better for ourselves.
Right. We have to do it. That's
I'm a black man. I'm not a cheating man. I'm a single man for years, and I call myself celibate. But I bet you one thing, I won't disrespect my sisters.
Oh,
where are you at?
Right,
no,
man.
I don't think it. Thank you.
Wisconsin, 4185 West Shorter Drive.
No.
This is not Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice dating show, but thanks for the call. We appreciate that.
And just to be clear, I didn't think he was trying to disrespect me in any way, but it was just that. No, I'm talking about the previous person. Just making sure that we respect. We got another caller.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you, ma'am?
You are a sister if ever there was one, you know. God bless you. Keep that respect, my sister. Here you go. When we see and hear how things like the way the police treat their white residents, and even if it's the same thing like a domestic call, most police get killed during a domestic violence situation. Okay. And they said that's the most scariest call that they go on because they don't know if they're going to come out.
That's true.
But this situation here, if we don't go vote, this here is if anything else, this is the reason that we definitely need to go vote. So we can get this George Floyd Act in law. And the only way that we're going to get anything going, we can sit on the phone, we can call the radio stations, we can complain, we can do all of that. Like God rest his soul, Joe Madison, my favorite broadcaster. What are you going to do about it? We have to get out there and post. I don't care. Get out there and vote. I don't care how many. Don't look at the polls because they don't even count. What's going to count is when we get out there and say, oh, y'all thought we was going to sit down. No, not this time. This is a dictator that is talking about taking away your rights, scrapping everything that our ancestors and everybody that died, everybody that all the hard work that even besides our ancestors is gonna take away. And they're so evil. So we gotta really be serious about this.
And that's why
Let's register people. Let's get out here. It's warm enough. Hey, get on the bus and register people. That's what I did at our last campaign headquarters. And we got to get out here and vote. If this don't make me want to get out here and get folks to register with these police folks, George Floyd, his name shouldn't go in vain. Thank you for letting me talk, my sister, because that's on my heart, George Floyd. This is his legacy. We got to do this. I love you with the love of the Lord. Where blessings flow. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. And she just, everything is connected.
Protect
the democracy, build community, teach and advocacy. And we teach about the people that are running. We protect our democracy by being informed electors and voting. And we want to protect our community and make sure that our community is safe and is heard. We got one more caller. Go ahead, caller.
Well, thank you for taking my call. Before we get anything like any kind of stores and happiness in our neighborhood, our people got to learn how to act, and we need to be vocal and honest with our people.
Yeah.
Number two, when it comes to the George Floyd Act, people who have no souls do not care about no laws, and you can ask your great-grandmother about that.
Mm-hmm.
And if people really want to make a stand with people who want to be a dictatorship, give them their God and their Bible back, and then you will be free. Because now you're going to say what you want to say, and you're not going to be walking on eggshells to say it. Because that is one of the number one things that stop Black people from really saying what's in their heart. Because we know validation is always needed when it comes to white people. And Black people are afraid to talk back, and they start sounding like old Negro spirituals. And we should not have to get pissy drunk and get on a chemical to say your truth. So when you give them their God back, and even if you use belligerent words, you will say what's in your heart and your soul, and you won't worry about no heaven or no hell, because you are the person with the master key who's on earth who can change it. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Another caller? Go ahead.
Oh, and I concur with each and every one of them last callers. We have to vote, because you see what Trump trying to do. He's trying to change the Constitution. Is any of that in for us?
No.
I didn't.
Right. So everything he's trying to do, he's going to tear down everything, trying to kill Social Security and Medicaid. Hey, what black folks, poor black folks like me, done worked at Breeze Trade since 18. So hey, that's what I have to depend on.
Thank you, sir. Community, this is one of those things where this is a hot topic issue. We have all different reasons and ways how we should do it, how we want to do it, what can we solve. But at the end of the day, we're gonna have to be the people who do it. Us, the people who live on 21st and Atkinson, the people who live on Capitol, who live on Burleigh, who live on Sherman. Each neighborhood is going to have to kind of take care of their neighborhood, and it will flow. It will flow. It's just so difficult.
I had a thought when you talking about taking care of each other in the neighborhood, even just with the basic strategy when it comes to having like businesses open late. You mentioned just businesses need to be open past 6. You get off at 5. Just think about how many we can help in our community. If we got businesses in our community and we got the time and the people that can look out for the people so they can stay open to 8 or 9. If you got something set up where you can help the people in the businesses to stay open late, maybe it's some type of daycare system or type of system that you can create so we can actually get the money to stay in our community and that black dollar can circulate versus, leaving out, or I got to go to Brookfield to get something to eat or go get the utensil supplies I need because, the shop around the corner closed at 6. So, we need to find a system to help each other and create that to keep the black
wraparound services for each community.
Yeah.
True, bro.
All right. This is Be a Voice, Wisconsin Voices Be a Voice. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Wisconsin Voices, Be a Voice Radio. Follow us at BAWI Voice and learn more at wisconsinvoices.org.
Hi, my name is Tamika Vukovic, Co-Executive Director of Wisconsin Voices. Please join Wisconsin Voices every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We will be focusing on community partnerships, voter education, and long-term collective impact for all Wisconsinites.
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee.
We have an open conversation today.
There ain't nothing wrong with notes. I keep index cards.
414-444-5250. We're on for a couple more minutes. But each person that called, or a lot of people that called, either kept reverting back to what we need to do, which is vote, part of the community. Joe, I think you have some information about voting.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody missed the last election, you have another chance to go out there. The election's going to be April 2nd, but early voting starts March 19th. So that we're going to keep reminding folks to get out there, register, and vote early.
Where can folks register at?
Don't you got the number?
That
That
don't mean they can read my mind.
Well, why not?
I'm already registered.
myvote.wi.gov.
Yeah.
And then if you need some assistance, you can call Wisconsin Voices or go to our website and send us an email, wisconsinvoices.org.
Yeah, I was definitely about to do that drop. I'm like, yes, we need to go ahead, plug wisconsinvoices.org. If you have any events this week that you want us to know about, please get in contact with us. We would love to know. We can put it on the calendar, especially if you see anything with our partners. We just want to make sure that we are embracing the community, trying to continue this winter, spring kickoff into election season strong. And we got a lot to do.
We got www.wisconsinvoices.org. And when Brian
www like Rev Nash.
Yeah, I did.
www.
Yeah. You like that? You like that a little bit?
World Wide Web.
You mean Beyonce's web? Is that what it's called? Beyonce's internet?
I ain't messing with the Beehive.
I ain't talking. I ain't no Beehive. You never know. Somebody on the Beehive probably listen to 860. Yeah, you know, we be everywhere.
No, I was just saying it's her internets. Because Al Gore invented it, though, remember? But and if you have any kind of, please remember, I'm gonna say this email. I mean, so you can remember, it's press, PRESS at wisconsinvoices.org. That is where you can send any of your calendar invitations. If you want anything put on our events calendar. If you want to go there and look at what's going on for the weekend, we're starting to rebuild and build that up. So it'll definitely be a one-stop shop to, if you want an event to go to, you want to support a different organization, this is what we're trying to build. So that is a one-stop shop. Again, the conversation today was just to see what we can do to help our community. Sometimes it's as easy as going in front of your own yard and picking up the trash that's there, even though you didn't put it there, even though, you know, somebody else did it. And a lot of times people be driving down the street and they think the whole Capitol Drive is the garbage can, so they throw it right out their car. Let's just try to one step at a time, just do better, have pride in our own community. I have to do it where I live, and even though, you know, people say you live in Glendale, nah, they throw trash out there too.
Or by supporting your local economy. I mean, you know, shopping local, visiting local, go visit those restaurants and those shops that are in your neighborhood that you know are locally owned. I mean, that's a great way to support your local community.
Pete's is jacking up the prices.
Who?
Pete's. That was my favorite. I love Pete's, but you know, nephew.
Oh yeah, nephew the other day. They wanted $20 for a dinner. I'm like,
oh yeah,
well,
see, they just got nephew came from out of town. He's running shop now, so they no longer have the dinners. Now everything is about per pound.
By pound, yeah.
At one point, you couldn't even put everything in one pan. You had to get separate containers, and it's like, okay, that took a while, but that's the switch. We fought so hard for fresh food and stuff like that in the neighborhood, and at some point they come change on us. I think we need to.
But they do that. That is one of the things that they do quite a bit, where they come, you know, we fight for something that is good, and then it gets switched, changed, bought out. You know,
that happened to me so often. I am a favorite item type person. If I like something and I continue to buy it a lot,
like the Italian beef.
Yes.
And you know, but it's also unfortunate because, like I said, I'm a traveler. I'm able to travel. You know, I do go to West Bend to get, if I got something to get from Walmart, because I'm a bigger guy. You know, I know there are minimum numbers of my size in the inner city. Right. I know a lot of bigger guys up north in the fields. So, you know, I go up there to get my stuff. So I can go to Pete's on the south side and get the great deals, you know, but that's unfortunate how it changes. It doesn't change across the board.
That's what I was trying to say, Keon. Because I've noticed that when I buy items and I constantly buy them from my neighborhood store, they'll go up on the item for me and tell me, oh, you buy a lot of these, so we had to go up. Why would you go up on somebody that's buying a lot of it? You should go down because they're consistently buying this from you. But that's how it is. Truly, it is.
Well, we
great show, yeah.
I think it was a needed show. I was sitting there, and as I was recuperating from my illnesses this weekend, and I was just like, we go in. We're going to be going back to our partners tomorrow, and interviewing people, and then having some of the electeds or candidates for these offices on by this week and next week, and starting for the rest of the month of March. But I think that this conversation, and I know you've had it on different shows here on WNOV, but we've never done it. And I think that is one of the things that we really needed to just kind of try to get a hold of, because I do not ever want to be a hypocrite in what we do. If we're talking community, let's talk about it holistically. We know our people. We know who they are, but I love my people, and we know what we're doing. So let's just kind of try to fix it one step at a time without throwing blame, without doing anything like that. Just making sure that we come together. Well, I am Tamika Vukovic. This is Be a Voice, Wisconsin Voices. I will see you guys back on Monday.
You will.
I will see them on
This
Monday.
show will be on tomorrow.
Show. I'm talking about me. This is a personal thing with me.
The audience.
I'm not confusing y'all. I just won't see y'all. Brian and Latoya and Joe gonna hold it down for the next Tuesday and Friday. Whew, I'm gonna miss y'all. I might have to call y'all from.
Call in.
I might have to call y'all from Miami because it's gonna be nice.
Yeah,
I want a weather update.
I want a weather update.
WisconsinVoices.org. Thank you for listening.
WNOV 860 and W293CX 106.5 Milwaukee. The views and opinions expressed on this show do not